And March the 7th, or no, yeah, March the 7th of 1965, Dr. King had planned for a good group of people to go on a walk from Selma to Montgomery in Alabama. And they planned at 12 o'clock to leave, noon. And what happened was the police gathered around the directions of the sheriff and all, and just devastated the crowd that had gathered there. People all over the place. And of course, it hit the news reports, and that day happened to be a very important day for me and my associate priest, and that Sunday. And but we were watching the television that evening, and Dr. King was on asking for all kinds of religious people to come and support him. And he said ministers, priests, rabbis, whoever, Muslims, I guess, and all, whatever. Anyhow, so the students used to gather in my house in the evening, and especially this was a big day, the Feast of St. Thomas, the patron of our church. Okay. And so they were there that night and all upset about this thing. So I told them, I want to go too. My associate said he'd stay and I could go, and to Selma. So I told the students they had to meet their professors and tell them that they were going for the week, call their parents, let them know, and then, so 5 of the students finally met up with us and all on Monday night, and together with the Presbyterian associate minister there at Westminster Presbyterian, we started out Wednesday night to drive to Selma. And we got there about noontime on Tuesday, and we went to Brown Chapel, which was the center for the black community there, and they were welcoming us and assigning us to different homes in the community there, in the black community. And so we, each of us, well, at least I went one place, and this Presbyterian minister another, and the students went to another place. And so we all had accommodations as a gift from the people there.
Nice.
It was very interesting to be in their houses. And also, and the woman who owned the house where I was turned out to be some kind of I suppose I should use a nice word, mystic, but she was kind of like a witch.
Ooh.
You know? And she was fascinated by me as a Catholic priest in her house. So we had a grand time. Anyhow, Tuesday, once we got assigned to a place to sleep, we went downtown, and the sheriff had decided that we could not have a parade. For him, more than two people, like, would be a parade.
A parade, okay.
So what we did was to have one of the visitors and one of the natives, black person, and we would walk downtown to the sheriff's office and meet him down there. But walking down, various people in the community come up and really did some very uncomfortable remarks as we walked by, and
Wow.
it was really frightening. People would be in back of you, and they'd be cursing you and all, people coming at you and all, and it could only be two people.
Wow.
I had this one little girl and myself and all. I'm all dressed up in a,
In your
priest
vestments,
collar
right?
and all of that. So anyhow, that was very interesting, and getting ourselves settled. The next day, we went downtown again and did the same thing. We just make ourselves visible down there. But that night, there was to be a big meeting in Brown Chapel as they prepared to resume the march to Montgomery on Thursday at noon, is what they wanted to do. And so that night we were having dinner and all, and we went down there, went back to the Brown Chapel, and as I was walking in the students all found a place for themselves. It was jammed with people, and I couldn't find a place, and Dr. King was on the stage, and he's summoning me to come.
Awesome.
So I went down, and I shook his hand, didn't wash it for weeks, and sat there next to him. But
Wonderful.
just after I got there, there was news that one of the ministers coming out of a restaurant was attacked and beat unconscious, hospitalized in
Wow.
Birmingham and all. So Dr. King, the people around Dr. King were all, he sent so many people down to try to find out what was happening, what they could do, and how they could help, and also. So the next day, Thursday, we gathered, the students, 5 students, men, all men, and we, and the minister, we joined in the march at noontime, but the students, they were asked, whether they could go. And I told them they should not walk all the way to
Right.
Montgomery. And all. So we walked for a mile or two down the highway there, and then we came back. We're there overnight Thursday and stopped at the hospital in Birmingham to see about this minister. I don't remember what church he belonged to, but it was like a Church of God or something like that, one of those things. And I had seen and talked with him before, so we were that much acquainted. So we went to the hospital, but they wouldn't let us in because he had died.
Oh.
It was so pitiful, So, and then we drove back. But it was very difficult to walk downtown with, people shouting at you, cursing you. So that's what we did, and it took us. We came back and got there Friday night and all. I had my beard on, and I thought maybe I should shave my beard, might be less startling than to have a priest with a beard. Wasn't common. So anyhow, we had 4 masses every Sunday, and I spoke at all of them.
Wow.
You know, so. But the most populous one, big crowd, the church I built accommodated, had 500 seats. Just literally seats, so that we could move them all around
Okay.
and do whatever we wanted, which way we wanted to face. And it was a very interesting church that I designed. But the congregation there, they all came, and I got up there and I told them where I had been, what I had done, and just said, I just wanted you to know that I went down there because of my own approach to life, to people, and it was an interesting church in as much as the pews faced each other on an angle so that the people could see each other.
Right.
You didn't have to see the back of the head of everybody in the church, you know. So they could see, you could see half of the people, you know, on the other side, or even more, you know. So it was always, and I used to get down in the middle there, and I'd have a little proposition that I would explain, and then ask, what's your reaction to that? And at first they would focus on me, but before you knew it, they were talking among themselves.
Dialoguing.
You know, I told them, you don't have to believe what I say, but you do have to believe. You know? So that's,
Nice.
so what hurt me the most was that the most populous mass. There was a couple with whom I was quite close. The woman was an older woman, grandmother type, and all, and she was a charm. But in the middle of all of this man yelled out, you know, kill them all. He was talking about the students.
Wow.
I just couldn't believe that someone who came to church professed to be Catholic, you know, Christian, you know, would say that.
Yeah.
And I just put my head down on the pulpit. And I told my associate, go on with the rest of the service. You know. But that's my story. Okay?